Man, on an evening where Tim Dog decided that he's going to come out and declare his love for PlayStation, I mean, it's not like anyone didn't see this coming, considering the meltdown that he was having. I mean, he's literally lapping about everything when it comes to PlayStation right now. It is the premium brand, the prestige, everything, fluid. I mean, he's even going to the menus at this moment and hyping up the menu. But what a time to be actually bigging up PlayStation when they pull a stunt like this. And if you haven't heard and you haven't seen my previous video, wasn't inside my stream today, shame on you. You should be checking out my streams all the time. But Helldivers 2 is finally activating, well, Arrowhead with Helldivers 2 is finally activating their account linking with PlayStation Network. Now, this was always going to be a thing. This isn't something that was sprung on them by, miracle or magic or just on the spot. This was always planned. It was always going to be there day zero, but due to bugs and issues with the game and a bug with the actual account linking itself, they were unable to do this day zero. So they said that this was going to be put on the back burner but introduced once they got it fixed. Well, they finally have it fixed, and as of May 6th, all new Helldivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. So if you don't actually have a PSN account or you haven't made one, you don't need a PS5 to do this, of course. It's just a free account. But if you don't have one, you simply cannot log into the game. Now, this probably won't be the only game using this. With the trophies coming along for Ghost of Tsushima, that is more than likely going to require a PlayStation account as well going forward. So all PlayStation games going forward, essentially, as of now, are probably going to require this. This is all in preparation, more than likely, for their actual PS launcher for PC that's going to be coming at some point potentially this year. But a lot of people have taken to the streets and taken to the web and are extremely unhappy about what is going on here. They are not happy in the slightest because they do not want a PSN account. And obviously, the PC community is very rigid in their ways. They're okay with having a Microsoft account. They're okay with having a Ubisoft account, an EA account, a Blizzard.net account. But when it's coming to a PlayStation account that they fully knew what's coming and they signed the EULA and the agreement, they don't want it. I don't have a PlayStation, so I guess I can't play Helldivers anymore. That's not the case. It's a free account. Obviously, I said it's a free account. I've apparently become a pony, a bootlicker. But you know what? This is what happens when you give someone so much power, so much authority, where they can do literally what they want without a care in the world. And as of right now, because you all signed that EULA when you signed in, PC players don't even have a leg to stand on for refunds. Steam have already refused refunds. People who have purchased this in countries where they cannot play the game, they literally cannot play the game, are now complaining that they have no way to actually, play the game and they can't do anything, right? PSN is not available in all countries where people bought the game. So Sony is seeing it. Yes and no, because you actually knew that this was going to be a thing before you bought it. Now, of course, they released this blog on Steam under the events, and it says, account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studio games. This is our main way to protect our players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behavior. So essentially, this won't ban your Steam account, but because the game now requires a PSN account, if someone reports you via PSN, you won't be able to play that game on Steam or on PlayStation. So essentially, though nothing happens to your Steam account, you will lose access to play the game unless you can actually link it to another PSN account. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. Now, this is coming in place whether people like it or not, and obviously it's causing problems because now you've got people from China. PlayStation Network is available in only 69 countries, meaning if you bought the game and you live in a country where PSN isn't available, you're screwed. PSN is restricted in China. Chinese player got banned after trying to link his account to PSN by using VPN. And obviously using VPN is against terms of service for Sony, so they essentially banned them straight away due to a violation of PlayStation Network's terms of service user agreement. This account has been permanently suspended and is prohibited from accessing PlayStation Network. So even if that account was legit, that account now has been permanently banned. So people are now getting banned for trying to play a game that they bought, legally. But, at the end of the day, it is unfortunate that this is happening. Steam refused cashback. I will make a law claim. My dude's going to make a law claim on $30. I mean, obviously he's saying this, but realistically, he's not going to do anything, right? He's not going to get anywhere. And like this person here says, did you agree to the end user license agreement? Yes, he did, because he can't play the game otherwise. So you're not going to go very far. You actually agreed to the EULA that said that you do need a PSN item. And it's on the Steam page that a PlayStation account is required to play the game. Therefore, nobody has any claim to a refund. And that's the biggest problem here. It was available day one. This has always been there. So people knew previously, before actually buying the game, that information was there, requires third-party account, PlayStation Network, supports linking to Steam account. So this is, and it says requires, right? It requires, it's needed. Incorporates third-party DRM and protects GameGuard. So this is something that was required. So anyone that turns around and says, we didn't know, it wasn't there, this came in after, that's all lies. And this is why Sony has an ironclad defense. But do you know what? The cool thing for Sony to do would be to actually turn around and say, right, to those countries that don't have access to PSN, either A, they're going to let them play the game without PSN access and find a way to do it. That's probably going to take a week or two, maybe even a month for them to set up something for those players, or just refund them. But knowing Sony and the position they're in right now and the powerhouse that they're in right now, they could just turn around and say, we're very sorry, you agreed to the EULA, you agreed to the terms of service, just like with Steam, you are not entitled to a refund. It sucks, it's unfortunate, but that is the way it is at the moment. And do you know what? At the end of the day, a lot of you have wanted Xbox to get out of the picture, to get weaker and disappear and become third party. You wanted Sony to have a monopoly. This is what a monopoly looks like. This is what a tyrant looks like. This is what you wanted. This is what you're going to... And this is only the beginning. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, I told you. Actually, I am going to say I told you so. But you know what? This is just on the PC side. When Ghost of Tsushima comes out and other games come out, they are also going to have the same problem. So either as a PC gamer, you're going to abandon PlayStation games entirely, and you're going to buy a PlayStation 5 and then create a PSN account, which doesn't make sense. If you're not doing it now with your PC games, you're not going to do it there. So you're essentially saying that you're never going to play PlayStation games again. Unfortunately, you all wanted this. You all wanted a tyrant to come out with a monopoly by getting rid of Xbox. And, Xbox is in its weakest possible place it is right now. Maybe when people were saying that competition is good, you should have really reconsidered what that actually meant. And all those people that were saying that, everyone wins when Xbox is gone, well, this is how you're winning right now. You're all winning right now. This is how you're winning right now. Are you winning? Because it doesn't look like you're winning. But this is what a gaming world with Sony being a monopoly looks like. And once this, if Microsoft decides to go third party, it's only going to get worse for those on the console front as well. Make no mistake, this is going to happen. This is why I want competition. This is why I want Microsoft to fight back. This is why I want Microsoft to be, side by side with Sony, to actually fight for your money. Not for them to do what everyone wants them to do and just vanquish. But, you've got this over here. I feel sorry for the guy because this isn't in Arrowhead's hands. At the end of the day, Arrowhead has no control, but people are absolutely destroying them. And it says, ouch, right in the review score. Well, I guess it's warranted. Sorry, everyone, for how this all transpired. I hope we will make it up and regain the trust by providing a continued great game experience. I just want to make great games. And, people are asking, what happens to those people in the countries that don't have it? That's the big question right now. For everyone else, they really have no leg to stand on. And even these people that are in these 70-odd countries, they don't have a leg to stand on because when they purchased the game, it was there saying it requires. So Sony can easily turn around, and I hope they don't do that to these people. and say, you knew the score, we're not giving you your money back. And all these people say that they're going to take them to court and do all this and do all that. You're not going to do anything. Not for 30 quid, you're not. You're just not. Not for £30. It's all empty threats. And no one cares about empty threats. That's the problem. But you know what? I still have to give it to Tim Dog for finding it the perfect time to actually come out and start saying how Sony is the best. They offer the best service, the best premium stuff, and all of this. And you know, he can't get his timing any better. His timing is literally, you know, perfect. And you know, you've got this as well. You know, I've got a lot of respect for Spitz here. You know, a lot of people in the official Discord are being abusive and aggressive towards the community managers and stuff for Arrowhead. And it's not within their hands, and they're threatening to leave, and they're saying, well, I thought you were refunding and leaving. Go. You know, don't be spiteful and aggressive and toxic in our Discord. If that's what you want to do, leave the Discord, go refund the game, and, you know, we've got plenty of players that are happy to play the game. At the end of the day, it's not in their hands. At the end of the day, being upset with these guys is not going to change anything. They're as much screwed as everyone else, so it's really not the right thing to do. You've also got this from Twinbird responding to Ruifa. Listen, I live in a country that does not have PSN network. If I use VPN, I will be banned. First of all, it's Sony's decision, not ours. So that's immediately, you know, saying we don't have any control of this. Sony's the publisher, they're the IP holder, we just developed the game. Now, did they have prior knowledge that this was going to happen? Of course they do. So for them to completely wipe their hands of this is a bit disingenuous. But they said, secondly, we don't have all the details about region-related issues yet. So they're still waiting to hear from Sony because they are chasing to get more information so they can pass it on. But as of right now, this has gone crazy. They're getting review bombed out the Bowooza. And last I checked, it was mixed with 86,000 downvotes. It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. And what we've seen from here is not even it. It's crazy. This is actually at 86,000 now. And it's still mixed, but it's getting very close to that mostly negative, you know, change to go down. And once that happens, it's going to be very hard for them to ever take this back up to anything remotely, you know, mixed or positive. We've seen this with Starfield, and we'll see it with other games as well. It's a real big shame that this has transpired. A lot of people are getting aggressive, toxic. It's okay though, because Tim's finally found his new home in his PlayStation household, and he is more than happy with his premium service provided by his new overlords, who has, you know, in retrospect, completely and utterly screwed over everyone who was having a great time in Helldivers 2. But hey, one man's loss is another man's treasure, right? So at the end of the day, it is what it is, and I don't mean to make light of it, because I don't. This is absolutely awful for those that are, you know, getting screwed over. But for the majority of the people that are there, you knew what you were signing up for. It was there. All you need to do is sign up to a PSN account. You don't need a PlayStation 5 or a 4 to do this. You could just go to the website and create a free account. I understand that you're all concerned about the hacking attempts. A lot of companies get breached. But, you know, this is something that you need to do if you want to play it. And if you don't do it, considering you signed the waiver with the EULA and the terms of condition, not even Steam is actually refunding you. So Sony will never refund you, because they're, you know, this is essentially what you created. This is what you all wanted by trying to push Microsoft aside, and you've given a tyrant complete autonomy, a monopoly. And this is just a taste of what their monopolistic ways will taste like. Can you imagine what Sony will be like once they have a true monopoly? Can you imagine how ruthless they're going to be once that happens? It's going to get a hell of a lot worse. This is both for PC and, of course, for the console. This is why competition is good. This is why competition is needed. This is why you need checks and balances. Without it, they go rampant, and the only people that will lose are the consumers, just like they're losing now. But what can I say? You lot wanted the monopoly. They're free reign to do what they like, and legally they are in the right to do what they like and not actually refund you. And that's a real BS position to be in. especially for those people who suddenly can no longer access their games. Even if they knew, it's still a bullshit position to be in. Anyway, that's the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.